one place with walleye and pike and smallmouth and muskellunge? We're going west, young man, next on the Journal. Hi, friends, and welcome. On today's adventure, we are indeed headed west. Northwest, actually, out of the town of Kenora, Ontario, on Lake of the Woods' northern end. We're going to fly out to Fletcher Lake Lodge, a place that our friend Jerry Carreyrou over at Sunset Country suggested we give a look. He told me, Kyle, they have walleye and pike and smallmouth and muskellunge, and the place has been run by Jeannie McLean and her family for over 30 years. They're the only lodge on the lake. They're in part of the Trophy Waters area, so they do a lot of trophy big fish fishing. And I told him, thanks, Jerry, but you had me at walleye and pike and smallmouth and muskellunge. Yeah. Hey, friends, I'm your host, Kyle Randall. This is my Wilderness Journal, and we're headed west right now. Promptly at 7, we boarded a River Air float plane, and within minutes we were out over Kenora and then out over the bush. And then 20 minutes later, we were stowing our gear at Fletcher Lake Lodge.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Very
and
nice.
After getting our gear stowed, we headed up to the lodge to meet Jeannie McLean. So you've been here how long?
I've been here for 37 years.
37 years. Would you start when you were 4?
Thank you.
37 years.
It's been 37 years of joy.
It is
just fun.
And you told me it burnt down once after you first bought it?
It burned down in 1983. We got it all rebuilt that fall, and we were open 1984.
Well, this building
Right.
looks pretty new.
This is brand new. We just moved in May.
Meals are served here in the dining room?
They are. We have breakfast at 7 and supper at 7.
Okay, and then you have a housekeeping plan probably too for folks who want to do their own.
That's right.
All right, and you run this principally with your family?
I do. My one son is with me now, and then I have 2 staff,
Okay, and what are your staff's names?
Lorraine and Damien.
That's Lorraine over there.
That is Lorraine, yeah. And fishing is good. I mean, you can go just 5 minutes away and catch your lunch, bring it in, we'll fillet your fish up, and you get back out fishing, come back in. At noon, they're fried for you, and
That's wonderful.
take a little nap and
No.
go back out.
What kind of boats are we fishing out of?
There's 14-foot Lunds and there's 16-foot aluminum crafts.
Okay.
With 20-horse Yamahas.
Oh, so plenty enough to get around, anybody can rent them?
That's
Guides or
correct.
no?
Yes, we do offer guide service.
Now, we're gonna get to go out with your boy, right?
You are, yeah.
So he knows everything about this lake.
He was born and raised here. Most people don't need a guide, especially repeat, because the lake is so easy to fish.
What's your season when you open and when you close?
We open the 3rd Saturday in May until the middle of September.
Oh, okay.
And we do offer a bear hunt too in September.
Oh.
All right. After taking a few moments to get to know Jeannie McLean and company, it was time to get in a boat with her son Kevin and run out on the lake. She said, take an hour, go out there and catch yourself some lunch, bring it back here and we'll cook it up for you. Not 5 minutes from camp, Kevin motored up to a reef and we started fishing, and we hadn't been fishing for 2 minutes and...
Oh. Fish.
Fish already?
Yeah.
We just got here. You're probably snagged.
Snag looks like lunch.
It does. Yeah, that was way too big for shore lunch, Kev. Nice move there. Good.
Good release.
Hey, look at me. You are a true conservator. Yeah. So, this is kind of like old times. He's heard of you.
That's a nice fish.
Yeah, was a good one.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, you need a break yet?
No.
Oh. Friends, that's just the way it happened. That big old fish straightened that hook and Kevin dropped it. And the look on Tina's face, well, priceless comes to mind. Still, it wasn't long before we were back into them. And frankly, I was pretty certain we were going to eat. Look at that. Man said there'd be walleye. And there were. How'd you know?
Well, fished here a time or two.
Uh-huh. It wasn't
Called
that marker buoy?
It's called the minnow bucket for
Yeah.
a reason. You're always reaching in the minnow bucket.
Uh-huh.
That looks like a perfect lunch.
I was going to say, that right there looks like I could eat that.
Yeah.
I'm all about the catch and release. But if you ask anybody that knows me, I am a catch and eat fisherman too.
Yeah.
Nice job, boss.
Thank you.
Tina,
I had one.
I'm beginning to wonder why your fish didn't come in the boat.
Yeah, it was too big, I said.
I see.
I did. I had one and he got off.
Fish on!
And hold it, pardon me, one moment please. a little better fish there. That's starting to look more and more like lunch every minute.
Oh, me too.
You too. Not me too. You too. I don't have one. Where is this fish?
Right down there.
It's the first place I always look.
That's lunch.
Oh yeah, that's the right size critter right there. Nicely done. Hey,
Well,
What do you think, dinner?
Yeah.
perfect.
Looks good to me.
All right, well, lunch is secured. Thank you for feeding me.
You're welcome.
Now we got enough for lunch. Can I fish now?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. He said yeah.
That's big of you. You were going to say no, don't kid me.
Yes, occasionally I get to.
There's another snag. Only this one's swimming, I don't know, what's Edmonton's that way, probably. No. What do you think there, guide Kevin?
That doesn't look like a walleye. I don't know. It doesn't look small.
I may have hooked a loon in the foot.
Gator.
Oh, I think that's the legendary North American weed missile.
Ah. Yeah, you want me to net that for you?
Here, I'll get her. He ain't that bad.
Okay.
He's tough, but he ain't that tough. If I say it real nice. There! By the way, we have pike. Did I mention we have pike here? That's why you're not hooking them walleye. There's somebody down there eating them.
Nice.
Ah, he's lucky I'm not going to eat him for lunch. You see those walleye over there, fish? You're lucky. I eat pike too. There you go. As we like to say, thanks for coming out and playing our game. And for not eating my jig. Usually that's just a frayed line and a huh. But this time, I hung on to him. There's a pretty good nick in that line. No, I think I'll retie it. Hey, there's fish here.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. It's Canada.
It's Fletcher's, obviously.
Yeah, Fletcher Lake Lodge.
We ran in and dropped off our lunch fish, and then Kevin took us to a different spot.
May want to mark it because there's some walleye
And it did
here.
seem like we were catching fish about everywhere.
Not as big as Tina's, of course, but then they never are. Yeah. Kevin, you know what this fish is called in the States right here? It's called the lucky fish. We are actually going to lunch. We are having fish for lunch. But this is the lucky fish because we already got enough on the stringer. He gets to go back. You a lucky fish. That's what they call that. That was indeed a lucky fish. In fact, if I'd have known just how good that minute fresh walleye was going to be for lunch, I probably would have kept and ate that one too. After we finished that great lunch, we headed back out on the lake, and despite the fact that it was the middle of a bright sunny afternoon and the wind was coming up, Tina, well,
Fish.
haul back in the chair. She said, fish on. Walleye fishing.
There you go.
You like me to land that?
No.
A young man back there would be happy to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Give you a facial. Nice catch. Second base, now playing.
Hey, there he is. Sitting
Nice fish. Put that back. Quit playing with your food. Didn't your mom ever tell you not to play with your food?
Yeah, but it's so much fun though.
You're getting it done. New place, same old girl.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So there are smallmouth. Oh, wait a minute. There's fish here. Fish here. Not a big one like yours, but I'll take it. 20 minutes after lunch and we're catching fish again some more. Stop that. I'm going to let you go if you behave. See? There's fish here, honest. It's a little windy, but there are some fish biting, and it's, what, 2 o'clock on a sunny afternoon, and we're catching walleye in the middle of July.
The sun's out, why not?
The fish were definitely biting. It was one right after another.
More than one.
One more than one. There it is. Nice little golden walleye. Oh, look over
It's a
there.
better fish. You know how I know? I haven't even seen it yet, but it's a better fish. You can look at his. Go ahead, look at it.
Call that a double.
This is a much better fish. You know how I know? It's mine. His might be a little bigger, but mine's much better. I mean, look at the character, the lines, the symmetry. That's the prototypical walleye right there. If you were gonna drop, I'll put it back. There goes it. There's some fish here, honey. You might want to put that down, do some fishing. People are going to send me hate mail. You wouldn't let Tina fish. We will let her fish, just not till 3 o'clock. She ate an hour ago. You know, you don't want to go in the water and catch fish.
I got nothing for that. I mean, there's fish down there. Let's catch them.
You got it?
Yes.
Is it a good
Are
one?
you sure?
Yes.
Is it a big fish?
I don't know.
We're getting bigger.
Fish.
We'll get bigger.
Are you better now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Tina was definitely back on her game, and after a great dinner back at the lodge, we went back out on the lake, pretty much, I think, just so she could prove it.
Come on. Whoa, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, please don't let this be a pike.
Want the net?
Well, I ain't going to say it are, and I ain't going to say it ain't,
I don't think it is.
but I think it might be a good walleye. Look at that.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't want to let another Tina's fish go.
I would suggest not. Hey,
Nice.
nice job. That's a good one right there.
Thank you.
That tag team, that poor fish didn't have a chance.
Nice fish.
Now that is what that makes it worth coming out after supper, huh?
Absolutely.
That's
Gorgeous
it. That's
fish.
the deal. You can toss that one back.
Yep.
Let the next guy or gal have some fun.
Go get them.
I got one question.
What?
Am I pole back?
No.
I knew that was happening.
Yes, that is the way it is when you go fishing with Tina. You just get used to it.
I think so.
Bring this one up. Let's have a look. Look at that, baby. There's a big old Walter.
Come on.
Yeah.
When they get that big, they don't call him Wally no more.
What they
That's
call
Walter.
That's Walter. Look at that.
Beautiful fish, dear. You want to hold that for a picture? You want to put him back?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Beautiful fish. Nice job.
We go.
We go. We go now.
Our first day walleye fishing at the lodge had been nothing short of awesome. And when Kevin told me that in the morning he and I were going to portage into one of their muskellunge lakes to have a go at some of those high-flying toothy critters, well, let's just say even this old boy had a little trouble getting to sleep that night.
And we hadn't been fishing that lake for 10 minutes
Got
when,
one down there?
Yep.
There he is. Yes, ma'am.
friends, that right there is the reason you do a figure eight at the end of every cast. That fish struck right at the boat.
That didn't take long. What have been out here? About 10 minutes?
Something like that.
Seems upset with you. You know what I think? I think he wants to get away. You think he's done? No.
Almost. Let's give her a go.
Muskie won. Nice job, buddy. That's good fish. First one. Dandy fish. Nice job. Picture for your ma too. Go ahead. Put him back. Dandy. Dandy fish.
And on the very next cast,
You got another one?
Oh,
That fish got you?
that fish got me. Monster.
I'll tell you what.
Gator.
He about took that pole from you. That is what we come looking for. Another muskellunge. I mean, again, that's just like a 5 or 7 pound fish, but what a smack.
Oh yeah. He almost took my pole.
I did. I thought he was like, hey, I got a pole, I'll rent you. You sure you don't want to buy that spoon? You just want to borrow it. I get it. Well, keep it up. You're doing a good job. That's another nice fish. Dandy. But go ahead, put him back. Dandy.
some places the muskellunge might be the fish of 1,000 casts, but that was 2 in less than 20 minutes. And after moving up the shoreline a little further,
Got one?
Oh yeah, there's one down there somewhere. There it is, right there. He didn't like the look of you at all.
You gonna hang on to this one?
Maybe. Wow. There's a little better fish. Not a big one, but a better one. I don't think he's done yet. They are definitely along this shoreline. All right, let's try and let him go. There's that one. There. we'll take it. Just, they're not, this isn't even a very big one, but they sure do put up a fuss. Gonna put him back right here.
Oh, even the water.
Now let's go find us a bigger model. That's all right. I don't know, I think I'll keep throwing this. There's like 6 hits in the last 20 minutes. What do you think?
Might as
Probably
well.
no good. Take it off, you'll fish it?
Yeah, I'll try that one.
Get rid of it for me.
Yeah.
Thank you. You are a gentleman. Now you may have heard that muskellunge are the fish of 1,000 casts. Well, not in this place. We'd already caught quite a few of them, and to tell the truth, if I could have kept the hooks and a few more of those cartwheeling, surface busting acrobats, we'd have put a lot more into the boat and released them. The fact is, we were catching plenty of muskie, and we weren't the only ones having a good time that day.
Oh! 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 Get help me out here, Jeannie.
I got one too.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Mother!
This is great!
Look at mine!
Look!
Look! Look at mine!
Okay, bring it in!
Oh my God!
Awesome! Yay! Okay, I gotta help Lorraine.
Oh my! Look at that! My fish!
Good job! Oh, that's a good fish.
Nice fish.
Nice.
Turn and look at her. Oh yeah.
Yeah, good job.
The girls were obviously getting it done out on the main lake, and that was a good thing, because with all the fish that were hitting, I really wasn't ready to get off the wild muskie ride, not just yet.
Oh, there it is.
You got another fish? He don't like you. That's what the muskie thing is right there. Them fish get crazy. Look at that. All that air dancing, he's got himself rolled up some.
A little bit.
Nice fish, man. All right, another. We caught a lot of muskellunge that day, and I really hated to leave them behind, but I'd promised Tina we'd be back in time for dinner and some evening walleye fishing. And as it turned out, we saw and caught an awful lot on the main lake that night. We had such a good time.
Things like this cow and calf moose that came swimming across the bay right next to us while we were fishing. My friends, you don't see that kind of thing sitting at home on your couch.
The only bad thing I could think of about the first 2 days in camp is that it left us with just one left to fish. Fortunately, in the morning, we were going after smallmouth.
Kevin ran us down to another part of the main lake, and shortly after we arrived,
Oh, there's a, look at that. God, you gotta love smallmouth the way they fight. That's a beautiful bass now. 5 of them will get you weighed at the tourney. Now, remember what I said? You put a little brown sugar on your thumb, and you stick it in the water, and not every time, but a lot of times, they'll come right up and they'll bite it.
All right.
This is amazing fishery, I tell you what, to have this diverse and this large a fish in it, smallmouth, and we've caught 25-inch walleye and muskellunge and pike all in the same place. If you can't catch fish here, you'll have to take up bowling. some macrame. Stamp collecting, I've heard, is fun. Me, I'm into the bass. And the muskie thing is kind of fun too. Gonna put him back. There we go.
Beautiful.
I've already had to say this 3 times in 2 days. Kevin, you were right. There's bass here. It's getting to be annoying. Not really.
I don't mind hearing it.
Yeah, thank you. That's sweet.
our jigs and tube baits were really working on those smallmouth. So good, in fact, I decided to switch to a surface bait just to see if I could get them to come up and hit that.
Oh, there's a splash. There's a surface bait bass. Look at that.
Oh, he's nice.
Yeah.
There's a fish below too.
Yeah, there's one right there if you can get him to
Oh, nice fish.
pass at noon on a bright sunny day. Pike and walleye and smallmouth bass and muskellunge. This place is incredible. Look at that.
Beautiful.
That's a smoker. He even brought some salad in like we was gonna have lunch or something. That is what you want. That surface explosion like that, that is awesome. There she comes. Smallmouth, I'm telling you, these things fight like a truck going by. If you've ever been on a bicycle and had an 18-wheeler run you off side of the road, that's what this is like. These are great. And I mean, this is a nice fish. It's probably 15, 16, but there's a lot bigger yet. So we're gonna put him back and look for his mama. Thank you, buddy. Making me look good. There we go, buddy. That's almost like fun. I'm working, but if you come here, it'll be fun. No, I'm working. Why are you laughing? This is my job. We caught so many smallmouth and good smallmouth that day. I really hated to quit. I could have used at least a couple of more days just to chase them around. Unfortunately, we were down to our last evening, so we went out to give them one more try. On the last night, let's get him up here. See? This way, fish. There we go. Hooks out. Look at that, my friend. That's getting it done. Our last night here in camp, a great smallmouth, just another great fish. How, I don't know, how you could not come here and have a good time. Muskellunge. We caught some nice pike, some outstanding walleye and smallmouth that fight like that and are that big. Fletcher Lake Lodge, thank you, my friend. This has been awesome.
Oh, great fish.
Go ahead and put that one back. He'll be bigger and tougher when the next guy gets it. That's a mittful now. Tina and I had such a great time up there, and I really want to thank Jeannie and her son Kevin, everybody up at Fletcher Lake Lodge. We caught so many great walleye and pike and smallmouth and muskellunge. I can't remember the last time my shoulder hurt this good, but I do know I'm looking forward to going back and hurting it all over again. Friends, don't be afraid to go a little further, to fish a different way, to try something new. You might just run into a brand new special spot out in that sunset country of your own, and who knows, you might run into us, and if we do see you up there, well, you know we're gonna stop and share that cup and a fire, maybe a fish story or two. And if I don't see you out there with a big old good one on the line, well, then I'll wait for you right back here so we can share another adventure from my Wilderness Journal.